if you're already clicking on the link, you're gonna see a little bit of an outrageous title. This is why I think manifestation works without all the voodoo type stuff. I'm not a huge believer. Let me say that straight up. I'm not a huge believer in like things come, like energy kind of stuff. But during a time where I really needed something to believe in, I did start believing in the crystals and the energies and manifestation and, you know, all those tarot card stuff, because I needed some sort of hope that I just couldn't give myself. Now, when I say I believe in manifestation, let me just go off with saying why. I think manifestation is an excellent tool to create change. And I mean it in this way. If, let's say I am, let's say that I'm looking for a new job. Let's say I need something better, some new job that I need to go out and I need to do this, or I need to meet new friends, or I need to take risks, or something like that. Let's say the end goal is a new job, something better. I'm manifesting. I'm taking a quarter of the day to remind myself of what I want and my goals. Therefore, it is always kind of in the back of my brain. It's there, it's sitting there. I know that's what I want, right? So when I'm going throughout the day, I'm looking at better opportunities. I'm noticing things that you usually will not notice throughout your day. It's kind of like the red car theory, where if your sister drove to your house and you asked her how many red cars she saw, she wouldn't be able to think of one. But if you asked her to count, she would see all of them. So you're just keeping these goals aligned and you're noticing opportunities that you've never noticed before. You have to do that. Even if you don't believe in manifestation, you still need to take some time out of your day to focus on those goals for either that day, that long term, something in the next couple years. Maybe it's a 1 year goal. Maybe your 1 year goal is, I want enough money for a smartphone. It's always going to be in the back of your brain. Just take that drive to work, or that little lunch break where you're like, yep, this is what I need to do. And eventually you're going to stop online shopping as much, or you're going to look at some better prices at the grocery store. It just kind of depends on what those challenges that you have to meet your goal are. So when I talk about getting a better job, I mean, I went through this myself. If you look at my other YouTube videos, I literally had this opportunity where 3 of these great looking jobs came to me, and I got to choose which one was going to be the best for myself. And this is why I'm saying it's super beneficial. Manifestation works not in the mystical voodoo way. I'll say that one more time, I promise. You have to be a go-getter. You have to kind of do it. And I think when you're manifesting, at least in my opinion and what I saw within myself, you start to kind of follow rules that a lot of these self-development books kind of talk about. The greatest one that I can think of that does really good examples of this is the 10X rule by Grant Cardone. Basically, there's a big chunk of that book that goes to, you need to do and you need to not think. You need to go do it. You see it's an opportunity, you need to take that opportunity. Because if you wait on that opportunity, you're now giving yourself more time to think about the reasons why no. His greatest examples were sales calls. If you give yourself a second to think about, okay, maybe it's not a good time to call this person because maybe they're sitting at dinner, or maybe it's not a good time to call this person because they just said they got out of a meeting. That's literally words coming straight out of that book. You're going to think about that, and it's going to be the negatives. Because at the end of the day, though, if you're ignoring that little thought in your head where you're like, this is an excuse, this is an excuse, this is an excuse, worst thing they can say is no. It's the number one thing most guys talk about when it comes to asking out women, random women that you find attractive. What are they going to do? They're going to say no. They're going to say no. That's the worst that can happen. They could get a little angry, but chances are you're never going to interact with them again. So that's why I'm saying manifestation is important. It's a reminder of your goal that's coming in every single day. And honestly, if you take it a little seriously, you don't have to do the crystals and all that stuff. But if you really forget the word manifestation, even because if you're somebody who's like, I don't believe in that voodoo shit, the world does not owe me anything, you're absolutely right. The world owes you nothing. Nothing. The number one thing that I remember from like YouTube videos is this guy, and he's talking about, I'm sick and tired of people who say that like this privilege and this privilege is a thing, because in reality everybody has some sort of strength and they're all leaning into it. So if you don't have this, that person might have that. They're going to take it. You have to take the advantages of life, right? So the universe doesn't owe you anything, and forget the word manifestation from your mind when you're thinking about this. If you're a realistic-ish person who doesn't want to believe in that, because that's totally fine. Just remember in that morning when you're waking up, your goals, and that's all that's going to matter.